Welcome to the 10 Minutes Gold Mine, where every book gives you a treasure of knowledge in just 10 minutes. The Prince by Niccolò Machiavelli. Introduction. The Prince, written by Niccolò Machiavelli in 1513, is a political treatise that has been influential for centuries. Its main purpose was to provide advice to rulers on how to navigate the complexities of political power, offering pragmatic guidance on how to acquire, maintain, and expand power. Machiavelli's observations were based on real-world examples of politics during his time, and his unflinching look at the reality of power, without idealism or morality, has made this work a classic. Despite its controversial nature, The Prince is seen as a foundational text in political theory. In this summary, we will break down the key themes and advice presented in the book and explore how Machiavelli's ideas continue to resonate in modern politics. Part 1. The Nature of Power. Machiavelli begins by categorizing different types of political power. He makes a distinction between hereditary states, which are inherited through family lineage, and new states, which are acquired by force, fortune, or skill. Hereditary rulers typically have an easier time maintaining power since their families are already established, and they often have the loyalty of their subjects. However, rulers of new states face more challenges because they need to build their power base from scratch. For new rulers, Machiavelli stresses the need for swift action. A prince must consolidate power quickly, and sometimes this requires force, deception, or alliances with powerful factions. If a prince is too slow in establishing authority, he risks losing control. Essentially, new rulers must be proactive and ruthless in their approach to ensure the stability of their reign. Part 2. The importance of a prince's image. Machiavelli argues that the image of a prince is almost as important as his real capabilities. He suggests that a ruler must project an aura of strength, wisdom, and virtue, even if he is not virtuous in reality. In fact, Machiavelli advises that the appearance of virtue is often more crucial than actual virtue because it helps to maintain control over the people and protect the prince's reputation. This advice is particularly relevant when it comes to the use of deception. A prince may need to act in ways that seem immoral or deceptive to protect the state. Machiavelli is clear that a ruler who relies solely on honesty or traditional moral values may not be able to maintain control of his state. Therefore, the ruler should be willing to engage in morally questionable actions if they are necessary for the greater good of his rule. Part 3. The Role of the Military. For Machiavelli, the strength of a ruler's military is critical to maintaining power. He warns against relying on mercenaries or auxiliary troops, foreign soldiers, because they are often unreliable and lack loyalty to the ruler. Mercenaries fight for money and self-interest, not for the state or the ruler. This makes them prone to desertion or betrayal in times of conflict. A prince must therefore have his own army of loyal subjects. Not only does a strong military ensure the protection of the state, but it also serves as a symbol of the ruler's power. Machiavelli emphasizes that a ruler should be involved in military matters and not leave them to subordinates. A wise ruler should cultivate military skill and be prepared for battle when necessary, even if this means going to war when diplomacy could be a viable alternative. Part 4. Fortuna and Virtù. Machiavelli introduces the concepts of fortuna, fortune, and virtù, virtue, to explain how rulers should navigate unpredictable circumstances. Fortuna refers to the whims of chance or luck, which can have a major influence on the success or failure of political endeavors. On the other hand, virtù refers to the personal qualities, skills, and abilities of a ruler, his decisiveness, boldness, and resourcefulness. While a ruler cannot control fortuna, Machiavelli argues that it is crucial to have virtù in order to respond to and manage the forces of chance. A ruler with virtù will be able to adapt to changing circumstances, make bold decisions when necessary, and steer the state toward success despite the unpredictability of fortuna. Machiavelli suggests that virtue helps a ruler to not only survive adverse situations but also to take advantage of opportunities presented by luck. Part 5. The ends justify the means. One of the most controversial aspects of The Prince is Machiavelli's famous assertion that the ends justify the means. He argues that a ruler who wants to maintain power may need to resort to unethical or immoral actions, including manipulation, deceit, betrayal, and even cruelty. These actions, while harsh, are sometimes necessary to ensure the stability of the state and the continuation of the ruler's reign. Machiavelli is not advocating for cruelty for the sake of cruelty, but rather suggesting that a ruler must be willing to make difficult, and at times ruthless, decisions when they are needed. The preservation of the state is the ultimate goal, and if this requires morally ambiguous actions, then they are justified. The prince should focus on the outcome of his actions, whether they serve the interests of the state, rather than the moral righteousness of the actions themselves. Part 6. The importance of adaptability. Machiavelli emphasizes the need for adaptability in leadership. A successful ruler must be able to adjust his tactics and strategies according to the situation at hand. A prince who is too rigid or predictable is likely to fall victim to changing political circumstances or the schemes of his enemies. A flexible ruler, however, can adapt to various challenges, whether it is a foreign invasion, internal rebellion, or political instability. Machiavelli also highlights the importance of knowing when to use force and when to show mercy. A ruler must be able to read the mood of the people and the political landscape, shifting his methods to maintain control. A wise prince knows when to act aggressively and when to show restraint, depending on what is most beneficial for the state. Part 7. Maintaining power through fear and love. Machiavelli famously discusses whether it is better for a prince to be loved or feared. He concludes that while it would be ideal for a ruler to be both loved and feared, if he must choose between the two, it is better to be feared. Love is unreliable, as it depends on the goodwill of the people, which can easily change. Fear, however, is a more stable foundation for power because it relies on the ruler's ability to punish and control. A ruler who is feared will be able to maintain stability because his subjects will be reluctant to challenge him, knowing the consequences of defying him. However, Machiavelli advises that a prince must not cross the line into cruelty, as excessive cruelty can lead to hatred and rebellion. The key is to strike a balance between fear and generosity, ensuring that the ruler's actions create respect, not resentment. Part 8. The role of reputation. Machiavelli concludes that a ruler's reputation is vital to his success. Reputation is the foundation upon which a prince's power is built. A ruler who is seen as strong, decisive, and reliable will be able to attract loyal followers and discourage potential challengers. A good reputation can also serve as a shield, protecting the prince from conspiracy or rebellion. To maintain a positive reputation, a prince must be strategic in his actions and appearances. This does not mean that the prince must always act in accordance with virtue, but he must ensure that the public perceives him as virtuous. Public perception can often be more important than the reality of a ruler's actions. Conclusion. Machiavelli's The Prince is an unapologetic guide to political power, filled with advice on how to manage the complexities of rule, preserve the state, and navigate the shifting tides of fortune. Though often criticized for its pragmatic, even ruthless, stance on leadership, the book continues to resonate because of its honest portrayal of the challenges faced by rulers. Machiavelli's view that a ruler must be adaptable, strategic, and willing to take harsh actions when necessary remains relevant today. The central message of The Prince is that political power is not about being virtuous or ethical, but about securing and maintaining control. The book questions the traditional moral frameworks applied to politics, suggesting that successful rulers must be willing to prioritize their power and the stability of the state over conventional notions of right and wrong. What do you think about Machiavelli's approach to leadership? Do you agree that the ends justify the means? How would you apply his ideas to modern politics? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. That's it for today's 10 Minutes Gold Mine. If you found value in this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep mining for more golden knowledge. See you in the next one.